This is the story of Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper is said to be the world's most famous serial killer. It is believed that he only had 5 victims though. So what made Jack the Ripper so famous? It is said that the police actually never found him. In 1888, forensics were still very new. Due to the modern methods, we do have an idea of who he is now. Jack the Ripper terrorized East London in the year 1888. He targeted prostitutes that lived in Whitechapel, which was a high-crime district in London. He had 5 known victims, and their names were Marianne Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. The victims had their throats slashed and internal organs removed. Jack the Ripper would offer to pay for sex, then lure his victims onto a secluded street or square, and then slice their throats. While they bled to death, he would then brutally disembowel them with the same 6-inch knife he used to slit their throats. Most killings happened within a few streets of each other. It was thought that the murderer may have been a doctor, because the murder wounds suggested that he was surgically trained. Many letters were sent to law enforcement, some claiming to be the Ripper and some offering advice on how to catch him. Many of the letters were believed to have been sent by journalists posing as the Ripper. The police never found out who the Ripper really was, but there were over 100 suspects. Some of the most well-known suspects were Aaron Kosminski, Francis Craig, Walter Stickert, Carl Feigenbaum, and Montague John Drupe. But out of all these suspects, Aaron Kosminski stood out the most. There were many clues leading to Aaron Kosminski being the Ripper, one of them being that the murders stopped soon after Aaron was institutionalized. Aaron was not stable, and in 1891 he was sent to Colney Hatch Asylum. Reports state that Kosminski heard auditory hallucinations that told him to do things. People said that he was not violent, but there are records of him threatening his sister with a knife. Doctors today think that Kosminski may have been a paranoid schizophrenic. Another clue pointing towards Aaron Kosminski being the Ripper is that he hated women. As mentioned earlier, he threatened his sister with a knife. And as we know, the Ripper killed women with a knife. He was also not good at talking to women. According to Chief Constable Macnaughton, he was known for his profound resentment towards women. Macnaughton wrote in a note, "This man became insane, owing to many years' indulgence in solitary vices. He had a great hatred of women, especially of the prostitute class, and had strong homicidal tendencies." Another clue leading to Aaron Kosminski being the Ripper is that he had an accent and fit the Ripper's physical description. The night of one of the murders, a woman named Elizabeth Long said she heard the voice of the man who led Jack the Ripper victim Annie Chapman to her death. Long described his voice as having an accent, and Kosminski, as a Polish Jew, had an accent himself. There was also a clue left on a London wall, suggesting that the Ripper had a native language other than English. The message read, "The Jews are the men that will not be blamed for nothing." But Jews was spelt Jewes instead of Jews, and it was never understood what it actually meant. Another clue pointing towards Aaron Kosminski is DNA evidence. In 2007, a man named Russell Edwards wanted to confirm the identity of Jack the Ripper so badly that he acquired the shawl of Ripper victim Catherine Eddowes. He had the shawl DNA tested and confirmed that genetic material in the shawl traced back to one of Kosminski's living relatives. In 2019, the Journal of Forensic Sciences confirmed that the DNA did match Aaron Kosminski. That was the story of Jack the Ripper. So please tell us what you think in the comments below. We'd love to know. Thank you, and don't forget to please subscribe.